Welcome to the Path Monk Presents podcast. My name is Sean Donnelly Lewis, and I'm really excited about our episode today. We're talking with the co-founder of ImmersiveTech.com, Vivek Bhide. Vivek, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Sean?
Yeah, doing well. Let's talk about immersive tech. What do you guys do?
We at Emmersive really focus on the knowledge management solutions, right from enterprise level companies to the startup companies where we handhold them in ensuring and trying to define, working with them uh, in coming up with their education, customer education, learning strategies, trying to identify the right set of tools that may help them to be successful. And also then as a part of the content delivery, we also develop a lot of educational content for them.
Okay, so this sounds like you guys have a broad spectrum of clients, right? From big companies to small companies?
Yes, that is true. We have worked with Fortune 500 companies. We also work with like a startup. They're just getting started, trying to kind of work with them for their customer onboarding and customer success there. So, yeah.
Great. How have you guys been able to grow the company? Has it been through a lot of digital marketing? Has it been through SEO, inbound? What is the client acquisition channel look like?
Sure. So, Sean, initially, as any startup starts growing, it is more about your networking, the people who you really know. But soon enough, you kind of get that list exhausted, and then you need to start looking at other avenues to kind of really start growing. So we have been pretty successful in terms of our sales and marketing efforts, much more so on the digital marketing efforts. I think we have seen some good traction coming in from social media, just in terms of curiosity, what you guys do. We are also looking at a lot of webinars that we actually do to outreach and then share our knowledge with the community and then try to establish ourselves as the knowledge leaders in that area. And that also has enabled us to kind of really generate that level of community. And from that community, we were able to kind of really get some good leads and then grow the business that way.
And what role does the website play in client generation?
Oh, that's very interesting question. And I think so earlier when we started things off, we thought of just like a visiting card, right? We needed a website. We just started kind of putting together a one pager, but then soon we realized that I think wherever we are trying to kind of talk about immersive, people are asking for the web addresses and they're kind of going and really digging down information about what you guys really are. Initially, we got a very critical feedback saying that, hey, your website is not up to date. So that kind of helped us to kind of really realize that we need to put in good amount of effort for our website to be there. One of the things that we did there, in fact, couple, is we have our own portfolio shared on the portal. And we essentially use that to be able to have market reach or social media marketing. So whenever there are customers who are kind of coming in, they are taken directly to the portfolio link rather than actually talking about the stuff that we anyway do and they may anyway know. So they start looking at the work that we have done, right? So that has kind of helped us to generate some good amount of inbound leads coming in for Immersive.
Yeah. So I know that marketing people can be really, the list of strengths can be really short, right? With the website, and the list of room for improvement can be really long.
Oh,
So
yes.
if you were to be honest, what would be kind of an area that you feel like the website could improve in? Would it be just the ability to convert the visitors, or the quality of the leads, or the user experience?
Right, and this is something that is not just with our website. I think these are like the industry norms, and since we are also into education, one of the challenges that we also work with our customers to see, well, once the content is ready and we help them establish the academy, how do we generate excitement? How do we generate customer connect? How can we have repeated users kind of coming in and access the portal, right? And there are various channels that we kind of start looking at in terms of course, trying to kind of put some new blogs on the website just to kind of give some data to make them more meaningful. get them more educated about what we have to offer. And also maybe targeting to look at various different sectors. For example, pharmaceutical sector, we also come up with some good articles around what is really happening in the industry that really helps our customers to also kind of just go and take a look at and understand. That also helps us to even look at what we need to do as a company, right? So having to do and having to have a good research definitely helps. And then using that research to be able to kind of convert that into more meaningful, related areas where it relates to what we have to offer. And it also can relate to what our customers are really looking for. And that has really helped us to get some more excitement going on the website when people are kind of coming. And not just our website, but also, as I said, even for the academies that people are kind of looking at. If you look at Udemy or Coursera, and as such, I think it's more about the content that is out there to get the people more excited.
Coming back to what you guys do, what you guys offer, just for everyone listening in, what would you say would be, I wouldn't say the main competitive advantage would be the strict business way, right? But I want to say, what do you guys do differently than other people that are occupying the same space?
Yeah, so I think online learning has become a must-have now. Earlier, it was looked upon as something which is a good to have, but it is now touching so many points within the organizations, so be it customer success or support or professional services or even engineering for that matter, for onboarding programs, right? So online learning is really becoming a very sought after area, right, for us to kind of be in that space. Now, one of the things that really is driving us in that area with other companies is our ability to get subject matter experts really work with us. Now, one of the things that companies do look forward to is that it's not just the development part, but what level of expertise that you can come can bring to bear, right? For example, if you're looking at customer success, do you have experience around what level of customer success that we are talking about? What are the various different approaches? So along with the online learning content and technology offering, we also evangelize the customer success area. And this is just one use case. We also worked with one pharma company wherein they were looking for some of their standard operating procedures to be converted into more of an online interactive content, but they needed to kind of see whether we have the subject matter experts. So we have our different verticals within the organization, like pharma, retail, and then within those verticals, we have our own subject matter experts, which helps us to kind of really understand the requirements right, communicate at the right level, and then also make sure that uh, the delivery is happening in the right way, right? Because I think development or technology is becoming commodity nowadays. It is more about how you are able to understand your customer requirements and then how you are able to really deliver them to make them successful at the end of the day. And having subject matter experts then becomes very key. That is one aspect of our being differentiating. uh, the other thing is that we also look at ways to automate to bring in speed for delivery, right? So because, for example, if you're looking to develop an online content, for example, which was needing about 2 weeks time, but with some of these tools that we have developed in-house, we have accelerated that and then can save time, which of course relates back to the cost for generating that level of content in like half of the time that otherwise we would have needed. So that technology background that me and my partner had is now coming to bear and then helping us accelerate that content delivery to our customers that is able to kind of help the speed and the cost for the customer. So subject matter experts, speed, and cost. These are the three things that I would say that is helping us really keep us differentiated with our customers or with our competitors, so to say.
Yeah. I'm always interested in the next question because it kind of takes you under the hood, right? It shows you how the business is structured. So say you have somebody who's interested in one of the courses that you guys offer. What does it look like from the very beginning, from the marketing side all the way to a sale? Can you just walk me through the process of that process?
Sure. I think from the marketing side, if I want to start from there, right? So as I mentioned, we start with some level of a very targeted campaign initially for a quarter, right? Selecting a sector and then kind of going after that. For example, we currently are running a pharmaceutical campaign wherein we are kind of going after mid-cap to enterprise companies. So we look at blog writing, we look at video content creation, getting ebooks ready for our portal and our websites. So from there, the inbound lead starts to happen. We also have some webinars lined up with our advisors in the same area. And then that helps us to kind of really generate that level of excitement and outreach and helps generate those leads. Now, once we have a couple of good customers kind of getting interested in what we have to offer, I think the next question is that, hey, what are your processes? So we kind of get engaged at an exploratory level with them in understanding their requirements, and then kind of even sharing how we can execute and what are the processes that we can come to bear. One of the things that we do share is that our nature of flexibility in terms of delivery, because what usually happens is customer is still trying to get the requirements right, and they invariably they don't necessarily have all the requirements hashed out right at the time of discovery stage. So at that point of time, I think being flexible becomes very key for us. And then we kind of move into a pilot phase wherein we kind of get that more into a little bit engagement model with them to make them understand what kind of communication that our team does, or what kind of delivery or what quality that they should expect, and then so on. And once that pilot phase is done, then we essentially get into more of a execution phase or a project delivery phase, wherein we work with their subject matter experts internally to frame the requirements and then start our working process. Now, in the online learning space, ADDIE model, which is essentially is a very synonym to a waterfall model in software development, has been there for quite a while now. But since people are moving towards Agile, I think we are also kind of getting into more of an Agile development and delivery for not just the content part, but also the technology part that we actually have. And that kind of helps us to be in touch with our customers a little bit longer and also in a continuous mode, where they understand that what challenges that we are facing, we understand that, hey, what kind of expected value or what kind of expected output that the customer is looking at, and that really enables us to make the project successful at the end of the day. And of course, once the project is done, then we kind of get into a retrospective meeting just to understand what went well, what really needed some fine tuning on our side. And then that's how we essentially start to um, enhance the processes or delivery or quality or communication, whatever that kind of comes from those meetings, and then really grow from there, right? Because customer feedback is really important for us, and that is really helping us grow eventually.
Just to switch gears here a little bit, I want to talk about you as a leader. What kind of content do you consume to continue to educate yourself and grow as a professional and as a person?
Oh yeah. Well, for me, I think I've been a vivid reader. I've been reading books quite a lot, not necessarily related to technology or related to what we are into, but related to adaptive mindsets, creative mindsets, and more to do with some philosophical books that kind of really enables us to understand the cognitive mindset of human beings in terms of what really works, what are the different areas that we can really come to bear in the areas that we really are. And since they are very generic, it can be adaptive to most of the businesses that we end up working with, so be it in various different sectors. And I think I again go back to my previous thing, right? Understanding the customer is pretty key. And with that kind of a set of books and the area that I really go through, I think that has really helped me to grow from um, uh, empathizing with the customers at times, being a little bit open in terms of where we are, being transparent, and then getting that level of confidence and credibility built up, right? That has really helped us to kind of get from point A to point B as we grow step by step. Uh, of course, besides the books, there is so much on the internet nowadays, right? Means you can't just get away from it. So I do have subscription for learning magazines that I really go through just to see what our competitors are doing, what the customers are really looking for, and what kind of other areas that we can excel in from a technology delivery perspective. One of the case study was that someone was really challenged with their support organization that I read through in one of the learning magazines. So we actually approached that customer and then said, hey, maybe you might want to kind of try this out, what really worked with us from a previous customer, and then kind of propose some solutions around knowledge management, and then they really liked it. So that kind of really helps us to even evangelize some of these requirements, connect the dots, network with people. So of course, internet is definitely a big source there as well, along with some of the books that I kind of go through.
So since we're slowly coming to the end of the interview,
Sure.
I would really, before we end, I'd really like to jump into our rapid fire questions.
Sure.
So just
All good, John.
short and sweet answers, and truthful answers would be nice. So
Sure.
you ready for it, Vivek?
Sure. Go for it, Sean.
Okay, you talked about books. What was the last book that you read?
Creative Minds.
Okay. If you could have one thing for your company, or sorry, what is your company focused on at the moment? Excuse me.
Knowledge management solutions.
If there were no boundaries in technology, what would be the one thing you would want to have fixed for your company today?
Huh. That's interesting. I think customer adoption.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's more about getting our products and services adopted more in the customers' domains.
Gotcha. What was the last thing that kept you awake at night about your company?
Cash flow.
Honest answers. I like it. If you were to start over again, what would be the one piece of advice that you give yourself in your professional career?
Oh, I think focus. That came very hard way. Earlier, when we started off, I think we found ourselves pretty much all over the place. But as we matured, I think the focus started kind of coming in. So one thing that, if you ask me if we could have done it a little different way, I think we could have started with a little bit more focus. Then maybe we could have had a little bit more success. Maybe where we are right now.
All right, that was Vivek from immersivetech.com. Check out what they're doing. Vivek, we give our guests the last word on the show. So if you would like to sum up what we talked about today, or if you feel like there was something that we forgot, I just want to give you the last word. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Sean, so much for getting this podcast done. I really appreciate you doing this. I think this is an excellent idea that you guys have, just to kind of connect with people, understand where they are, and mutually kind of helping each other out, right? So first of all, thank you for giving the floor. I think I probably covered pretty much everything, but just to kind of reinforce on couple of areas. We are kind of a growing company. We are looking for partners to grow along with us, to create that level of ecosystem around the knowledge management solutions. We have been looking for good technology area, especially around AI and ML, that I didn't probably touch base upon, but we have developed a few of the chatbots in the learning space as well. Along with that, there is some level of predictive analytics that we also do around learning requirements of an organization. So if people are looking for some areas that they would want to kind of explore some of their change management initiatives, I think we can definitely work with them as well. And of course, along with that, our platform, which is very focused on the pharmaceutical industry, which is a 21 CFR compliant platform for learning management, is also being great. We have kind of now implemented a more of an adaptive learning approach for the learners within that enterprise product. And we look forward for more outreach in that space, especially on the pharma sector and pharma domain, for us to really build the model up. The other thing that I also kind of like to mention is that we really started things from an educational institute that we also run, and being a mentor for the students there. And then while we were also doing that, there were a lot of educational technology platforms like assessment platforms or portfolio tools that we were also able to develop. So all in all, I think there are good range of platform technologies that Immersive has now built up in its offering. And at the same time, we are kind of looking for newer technologies and newer avenues that we can be more effective and be uh, more effective in that space. Be right. So with that, probably I can go on and on, but I know that we are also on time here. So thanks, Sean, again for doing this.
No problem, Vivek. See you guys next time.